Welcome back. Today we join a craftsman as he brings a machine most people would call scrap back to life. The first hurdle is decades of contaminated lines. A gravity-fed external reservoir bypasses the compromised fuel tank entirely. Getting clean fuel directly to the injection pump is the only way to test the engine's mechanical health without risking debris damage. The inline filter reveals a steady draw of red diesel. This diagnostic step isolates the engine block from the rest of the deteriorating chassis. Clean fuel means the pump can generate the immense pressure required for combustion. But fluids can only travel as far as the metal allows. Cracking the injector lines should bleed out trapped air, allowing fuel to atomize in the cylinders. Instead, the wrench reveals heavy internal corrosion. Moisture has seized the injector paths completely shut. Static pressure alone will not clear a blockage this severe. The engine needs rotational force. Assessing the intake and vacuum lines confirms the limitation. When the starter motor lacks the torque to break through internal resistance, the entire driveline must be used as a mechanical lever. This is the reality of field restoration. The mass of the vehicle itself will have to force the pistons through their cycles. After preparing the chassis for movement, the cooling system requires immediate attention. An engine forced into a cold bump start will generate rapid localized heat. Fresh coolant stabilizes the block. A rolling start relies entirely on traction. Replacing the rotted rubber ensures the tires grip the mud rather than dragging across it. With the cooling loop sealed, and the driveline connected, the physical mechanics shift from delicate hand tools to raw momentum. The tow strap transfers energy from the lead vehicle directly into the transmission. Dropping the clutch at speed multiplies that kinetic energy, forcing the crankshaft to turn past the rust. It is a violent but necessary awakening for an engine that has sat idle for decades. The initial movement clears the cylinders of remaining debris. Combustion finally sustains itself. The diesel, inherently reliant on compression rather than electrical spark, finds its rhythm again. Even with compromised components, the fundamental engineering holds true. Heat and pressure ignite the fuel. The heavy cast iron block slowly comes up to operating temperature, burning off years of internal condensation. Navigating the uneven timber tracks tests the revived suspension and steering linkages. Bushings and joints that have stiffened over time are forced to articulate under the vehicle's weight. Every rut provides immediate diagnostic feedback to the driver. Emerging from the dense tree line, the open field offers a chance to listen. Mechanical survival is more than just getting the engine to fire. It is ensuring the system can sustain a load without catastrophic failure. The idle settles into a steady agricultural rhythm. The oil condition is poor, heavily oxidized and laden with carbon, but it provides just enough lubrication to prevent seizing during this initial test phase. Engaging the manual choke enriches the fuel mixture, compensating for the cold ambient air and worn intake seals. The dashboard vibrations indicate worn motor mounts, a common symptom of aging rubber. Yet, the electrical system proves surprisingly resilient. The alternator produces sufficient current to illuminate the headlights, drawing power past corroded grounds and brittle insulation. dead speedometer needle is a minor fault in an otherwise functioning mechanical loop. Pushing across the dormant grass, the transmission holds its gear. The leaf-sprung rear axle handles the uneven terrain, proving the structural integrity of the frame olify remains intact despite the surface decay. Each mile driven flushes the vital fluid pathways, breaking down sludge that has settled in the deep corners of the oil pan. Turning back onto the deeply rutted paths requires constant steering correction. The loose, wet earth demands momentum to prevent sinking. Returning to the farmstead marks the end of the proving phase. Bringing the vehicle into a controlled environment allows for the deeper, systemic repairs that field conditions cannot support. The truck pulls up alongside other resting machinery covered in fresh mud. It has earned its place in the yard. Weeks of intense labor strip away the decay, revealing the original steel underneath. The faded racing stripes speak to an era of utilitarian design, now preserved rather than painted over. The revived Toyota Crown moves under its own power, not as a pristine museum piece, but as a functional machine. The repaired suspension carries the chassis smoothly down the familiar dirt track. What was a scrap pile is a working vehicle again. It remains honest about its scars, wearing the patina of its past while gripping the road ahead. Every cleared line and tightened bolt is what its reliability now rests on. Survival in this landscape is about quiet endurance. Some machines are engineered to last.